Seiko is absolutely dominating 2026 by making watches that Rolex simply cannot compete with in technology, value, and innovation combined together. These aren't just cheaper alternatives. These are watches with better features, cooler technology, and smarter designs that make Rolex look old and outdated. From solar power to spring drive to GPS accuracy, Seiko keeps inventing amazing things while Rolex just makes the same watches over and over. Swiss luxury brands are scared because people are discovering that Japanese watches are actually superior in almost every way that matters. Let's count down 10 Seiko watches that prove Rolex can't keep up with Japanese innovation. Number 10. Seiko 5 Sports SRPD. The Seiko 5 Sports SRPD costs only $295, but has automatic movement that winds itself just like Rolex watches costing 30 times more money. You can see through the clear back and watch all the gears and springs moving inside, while Rolex hides everything behind solid steel backs. The watch comes in tons of cool colors and styles, way more fun options than boring Rolex that only makes a few basic colors. The 100-meter water resistance works great for swimming and snorkeling, which is all the water resistance most people actually need in real life. Rolex Submariner costs $9,000 for 300 meters that nobody uses because regular people don't dive that deep during normal vacation swimming activities. The rotating bezel clicks nicely and the whole watch feels solid and well-made, proving that affordable can still mean great quality. Kids understand this like buying 5 awesome toys for the price of one expensive toy. You get way more fun for your money. Number 9. Seiko Presage Cocktail Time SRPB 43. The Seiko Presage Cocktail Time costs $425 and has the most beautiful dial that looks like expensive $5,000 Swiss dress watches completely. The Sunburst Blue dial has multiple layers that create depth and shimmer, changing appearance in different lighting throughout the day beautifully. The automatic movement winds itself when you wear it, and the clear back lets you see the decorated movement looking fancy inside. Rolex dress watches cost $10,000+ for simpler, more boring dials that don't have the same visual magic as this Cocktail Time dial. The applied indices stick up from the dial, creating shadows and depth, which is way cooler than flat printed numbers on cheap watches. The date window shows what day of the month it is, and the whole watch looks classy enough for fancy business meetings. Kids get this like having the prettiest notebook at school that also works perfectly. It looks amazing and does its job great. Number 8. Seiko Prospex Turtle SRP 777. The Seiko Prospex Turtle SRP 777 costs $425 and looks super cool with its cushion-shaped case that's totally different from boring round watches. This dive watch can go 200 meters underwater, just like Rolex Submariner, but costs only 5% of what the Rolex costs for the same diving ability. The glow-in-the-dark stuff shines really bright and lasts for hours, often better than expensive Rolex Chromolite that costs way more money. The automatic movement winds itself, and you can see it through the clear back, watching all the mechanical parts moving around inside. The distinctive shape makes people ask, what's that cool watch, instead of just ignoring another boring round watch that looks like everything else. The variety of colors means you can pick your favorite or even buy multiple turtles without spending tons of money on just one. Kids understand this like having a unique backpack that stands out versus the same boring backpack everyone else has at school. Number 7. Seiko Alpinist SPB 121. The Seiko Alpinist SPB 121 costs $700 and has a working compass bezel that actually helps you navigate outdoors when you're hiking or exploring. The beautiful green dial looks way more interesting than boring black Rolex Explorer that costs $7,000 but doesn't have any useful compass features. The watch can go 200 meters underwater, which is actually deeper than the Explorer's 100 meters, making the cheaper Seiko tougher for water. The automatic movement winds itself, and the 70-hour power reserve means it runs for 3 full days without needing wearing or winding at all. The exhibition case back shows the movement working inside, which is way cooler than Rolex hiding everything behind solid steel like they're ashamed. The drilled lugs make changing straps super easy so you can swap between leather and NATO straps for different looks and occasions. Kids get this like having a calculator watch with actual working features versus a plain watch that just looks expensive without doing anything special. Number 6. Seiko Prospex Arnie SNJ025. The Seiko Prospex Arnie SNJ025 costs around $550 and combines analog hands with digital display, giving you the best of both worlds together. This cool hybrid watch is named after Arnold Schwarzenegger, who wore the original version in action movies looking super tough and cool. The solar charging means it runs forever on light power without batteries, while the analog and digital parts both work at the same time. The 200-meter water resistance and tough construction make it perfect for swimming, diving, and all outdoor adventures you can imagine doing. Rolex doesn't make anything like this because they're stuck making boring traditional watches without innovation or cool technology inside them. The alarm and chronograph functions are super useful for timing things during sports and outdoor activities when you need accurate measurements quickly. Kids understand this like having a phone that's also a camera. You get two great things in one device instead of carrying both. Number 5. Seiko King Seiko SPB289. The Seiko King Seiko SPB289 costs $20,600 and has finishing quality that honestly rivals 10,000 Plodarge Rolex watches when you look closely. The case polishing uses special Zaratsu technique that makes it look like liquid mirror without any distortion or waves visible on surfaces. The watch uses Seiko's excellent 6L35 movement with beautiful decoration visible through the exhibition case, back showing craftsmanship and care. The variety of dial textures and colors shows that Seiko cares about making beautiful watches, not just churning out the same boring design. Rolex Datejust costs 10,000 Plodarge for similar dress watch style, but doesn't have the same interesting dial textures or visible movement through back. The King Seiko name has cool history from the 1960s when it competed against Grand Seiko internally, making it special for collectors. Kids get this like getting a really nice custom-painted bike versus a plain expensive bike. The King Seiko has more personality and care. Number 4. Seiko Presage Sharp-Edged GMT SPB219. The Seiko Presage Sharp-Edged GMT SPB219 costs $1,800 and has true GMT movement that tracks 2 time zones perfectly for travelers. The sharp angular case design looks modern and different from boring round watches, creating distinctive style that photographs beautifully on social media. The GMT hand and 24-hour bezel let you track home time while traveling, which is super useful for business trips and vacations. Rolex GMT Master 2 costs $10,000 plus for similar GMT function, but this Seiko does the exact same job for way less money. The exhibition case back shows the GMT movement working inside, which is educational and cool to see, unlike hidden Rolex movements. The variety of dial colors means you can pick your favorite style, unlike Rolex that limits your choices to just a few options. Kids understand this like having a watch that shows what time it is at home and at Disney World at the same time. Super useful. Number 3. Grand Seiko Heritage SBGH281. The Grand Seiko Heritage SBGH281 costs $5,800 and has high beat movement beating 36,000 times per hour, way faster than slow Rolex movements. The faster beating makes the second hand sweep more smoothly and keeps more accurate time than Rolex watches can achieve at all. The finishing quality is absolutely incredible with Zaratsu polishing that makes the case look like perfect mirror without any distortion visible anywhere. The exhibition case back shows the beautifully decorated high beat movement with details that make expensive Rolex movements look plain and boring by comparison. The textured dial inspired by Memph Iwate creates visual interest that changes in different lighting, way prettier than boring flat Rolex dials. Rolex Datejust costs similar money but has slower movement, hidden caseback, and simpler dial without the same level of craftsmanship. Kids get this like comparing a sports car engine to a regular car engine. The Grand Seiko just runs faster and smoother. Number 2. Grand Seiko Shunbun SBGA 413. The Grand Seiko Shunbun SBGA 413 costs $6,800 and uses spring drive technology that makes the second hand glide smoothly like magic. The pink dial, inspired by Japanese spring cherry blossoms, is absolutely stunning and changes appearance in different lighting throughout the day beautifully. The spring drive accuracy of 1 second per day is way better than any Rolex that loses several seconds daily, even with expensive chronometer certification. The Zaratsu polishing makes the case look like liquid mirror, honestly better than Rolex finishing that costs double the price for less quality. The exhibition case back shows the amazing spring drive movement that no Swiss watch can copy because it's uniquely Japanese innovation. Rolex Day-Date costs 36,000 bars for basic old technology, while this Grand Seiko has revolutionary spring drive for way less money. Kids understand this like comparing streaming video, smooth, to old, choppy videos, ticking. The spring drive just looks more advanced and futuristic. Number 1. Grand Seiko White Birch SLG H005. The Grand Seiko White Birch SLG 8005 costs $9,800 and completely destroys any Rolex in technology, finishing, and value all at once. The brand new 9SA5 movement has 80-hour power reserve that Swiss brands took years longer to achieve in their own watches. The textured dial looks like white birch tree bark, creating stunning three-dimensional effects that Rolex's boring flat dials can't match at all. The case polishing is absolutely perfect, like liquid mirror, actually better than 20,000 prowess Rolex finishing when examined closely under magnification. The exhibition case back shows movement with hand-beveled edges and decorations that make Rolex's hidden movements seem wasteful and secretive by comparison. The watch is only 11.7 meter thin, sliding easily under dress shirts, while thick Rolex watches catch on shirt sleeves constantly. Rolex Day-Date costs 36,000 for outdated technology and basic design, while White Birch delivers superior everything for 1/4 the price. Kids understand this perfectly. Better quality, cooler technology, prettier design, and costs way less money. That's just smarter buying always. The White Birch proves that Seiko is now making better watches than Rolex in every way that actually matters for quality. Rolex can't touch this because they're stuck making the same old watches, while Seiko keeps innovating and improving with each new model.